Hello and welcome to ChinnyVision. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's a supercar. Reviewed the first Supercars game in one of the earliest editions of ChinnyVision. And one of those games I look back on and think, wish I'd left that to a bit later on so I'd done a better job on it. But never mind, because I get another go at this. Supercars 2, a game that came out on the ST, Amiga and PC, and not the C64 as Wikipedia claims. Go home, Wikipedia, you're drunk. So thanks to the Medway boys for cracking this game, because it made me able to run it on my ST, because I sometimes have problems copying floppies across and then load them into the ST. But yep, thanks to the Medway boys and discs number 13, I'm able to play this game. With the spitting image music on the title screen as well. So this came out about a year after the original game, and no 8-bit versions at all. It is just the 16-bit machines, and we're looking at the ST and Amiga versions today. This game is programmed by Magnetic Fields. It's an update on the original engine. So as per the original game, there is an introduction sequence, and we're looking at this at the moment off an Acorn CRT monitor made by Philips. So just to give you a bit of a different view of this rather than direct capture. So a new sequence like the original game. Welcome, I'm Harrison Ford. Ha ha. And you get to see the car, which is, I think, based on an Alfa Romeo. Decent AY tune running in the background. Graphics very similar to the original game. This is a retread, really. And I flip this back to direct capture just so you get a bit of a clearer screen for those of you watching on larger monitors. Be seeing some more CRT shots later in this review. Nicer 3D animation. It doesn't quite work on the right hand side. There's something slightly wrong about it. But hey, they've drawn all that in 2D and then made it look like it's a 3D spinning graphic. And here's Nancy Allen with the scores. So the game's by Sean Southern and Andrew Morris. Of course, Mr. Chip Software, well, certainly Sean Southern was, doing games like Caves of Doom about 7-8 years before. This is the menu screen. You can go easy, difficult, or easy, medium, or difficult. And you put your name in if you want to. First level on this is Bagley Marsh. And you've got to do 5 laps. And you don't get to choose your weaponry or anything in this level. You just have to start off with the default car, which gives you some rockets on the front, some rockets on the back. It's ostensibly the same as Supercars, but with enhanced tracks. And off we go. And of course, you launch some missiles at the enemies, or other cars rather, to get them out of the way pretty quickly. And over to a CRT view. Again, an Acorn / Philips monitor. And you just have to watch out for the other cars. They're far more aggressive in this game than Supercars 1. And the tracks are far more twisty. The geography in this game is much improved on the first game. There's a variety of landscapes. And the graphics are slightly nicer as well. And this is the Amiga version. And you've got some more colours. The gradients are far nicer. And the sound effects, well, they're reused from Lotus by the sounds of it. The same acceleration noise. And I think the first game as well. Scrolling is much, much smoother on the Amiga as well. Just makes it a far more pleasant game to play, really. And not that the ST version is bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's just nicer to have that smoother scrolling. It just makes it marginally easier to play, although you'll notice me crashing into the edges of the track a lot. So I've finished first, and there we go. £5,000 to spend on my car and 5 points. Very similar setup to the original game, except you go straight to this repair screen to tune up your car and replace things that have broken. Then you can go either quit or go to the trade screen. And I am cheating here, as you can see, because I've got lots of different missiles, but you can select what you want on the front and back. So you can put different missiles, guided missiles on there. or a missile that circles round you, nitro boost, and you just select front and back, and therefore you press forward to launch the front one and back to launch the rear one. Press fire to accelerate like the original game. So still on the Amiga here, and this second course does have a jump. Over I go. Playing this on a Konix Navigator and just finding it a little bit difficult. Just the novelty of finally having a Navigator, and on the other hand, finding it a little bit unsuitable for this game. And I mentioned that Supercars 2 features on the 2018 ChinnyVision calendar, available from ChinnyVision.com. Limited edition, A3 in size. All the screenshots on the calendar are from the original hardware. And so sometimes when you end a race, you will have to go through an interview. And you've got a woman from the Department of Environment who's going to interview you and ask you questions. And if you get it all right, you get points and possibly money as well. Or you may get a fine. And sometimes it's harder to guess these questions than you'd imagine. They've got £4,500 fine. I always love that Cats Against the Bomb poster. I don't know how ST owners would have felt about having what is ostensibly an Amiga on there, a twin driver big box Amiga. Over to the ST, and not cheating on this version, so I really am playing it properly. There's some missiles on the front and back because they're the cheapest way of doing it. You know, I don't think there's a technical reason why there's not an 8-bit version of this game. I think it is just by 91, perhaps the Spectrum, Commodore and Amstrad markets were just dying a little bit too much, and it might not have been worth making a game. The game, although they made Nigel Mansell, Gremlin did the Nigel Mansell game. At the end of the day, they could have just done a reskin on Supercars 1 and given us some new tracks, and all the 8-bit owners would have been quite happy. And the tracks, as you go on through, there's 3 difficulty levels, as I say, and even on easy, the tracks are quite difficult, and you get things like trains with railway lines and crossings going through the track which you have to avoid, and also jumps and all sorts of things. Back on the Amiga, and you see that smoothness again on the scrolling. No music while you're racing, just sound effects, unlike Supercars 1, which of course you had some really natty tunes when you were racing along. My car's a little bit too fast to handle now. And again, as you get towards the end of the races, the tracks really do start to get quite hard. And you get lots of ups and downs as well. And you get these different things that remind me of Badlands, I guess. Although Badlands was a terrible home conversion in the arcade gates and things to jump through. It's certainly being influenced by other games, I think. So on the Amiga, I'm the champion of the easy level. That's easy to do when you're cheating. Now I'll try the medium level, and the tracks do get harder. Yeah, they're hard already, and they do get even harder. And there's no change of cars or buying cars on this game, unlike the first game where you could upgrade your car throughout the game. This is race 1 on the medium level. And you've now got to do 6 laps. And you still always start off at the back. And this was probably the worst joystick ever to try and choose to play this game. I think joypads are probably better. Also, when you've got a faster... Well, your car's been upgraded with various things, and on later levels, you do need to use the brakes to go around corners, which is something I've really not got the hang of. It's very easy to slow down too much. Sometimes it's just easy to slam yourself off the corners. The original game had that problem on some of the faster cars, where it just became a little bit uncontrollable. Because see there, I went around a corner and did do a handbrake turn. It's very easy to end up going the wrong way when you get hurled into the oncoming traffic, as I did there. It is, as I say, a retread of the first game. There's all sorts of new weapons. You can drop mines and all sorts of things. End off these homing missiles as I did there to hit the car in front. They just follow them until they hit something. But it is ostensibly a retread. Supercars 2 promises much, and I guess it does deliver. Does it have the wow factor that Supercars 1 had when I first played it? No, ostensibly it's kind of the same game with lots of tweaks. It is a sequel, so it doesn't have that wow factor. Does it improve on the first game? For purity of gameplay, I prefer Supercars 1, but you do have all those extra weapons, all those new tracks, and a 2-player mode, which I'm unable to show here as I don't have anyone here to show it with. But you do get that as well. Very sad there's no 8-bit versions. There is a PC version, but apparently it's not much good. I can't run it on my Amstrad 2086 PC. It's not high enough spec. Supercars 2 is a good game. It does leave me feeling slightly dissatisfied in the same way that perhaps a fast food restaurant meal may seem like a good idea and taste nice when you're having it, but afterwards you think, should I have had that? Certainly, if you enjoy Supercars 1, you'll enjoy Supercars 2 as well. But is Supercars 2 a solid classic like Supercars 1 is? Perhaps.